Hey Stampers, it's Gaynor again. I have been having a play with my new stamp set, and I'm going to do them in alphabetical order in how I bought them. Not as in I bought this one first. I bought a lot, so I'm going to start alphabetically and work my way up to the end. I've taken my inspiration from the catalogue, and I've swapped it up a little bit. When you get your catalogues and you open your first page, this is the first stamp set you'll see, and it's called All That You Are. And it's in the sentiment. It says thank you for all that you are and all that you do. And I just love it. I think it's beautiful. I've used Night of Navy on my card. I'm going to switch up the colours now. And we're also using this beautiful die from the Climbing Roses. I showed you it on the video yesterday with all the dies. Absolutely beautiful. I am going to make a stencil out of this as well. So I'll show you my card, and this is it. Just a simple, beautiful piece of designer series paper, which is this in colours. This one's from the neutrals. There's that beautiful trellis, and if you look at the trellis, I don't know if you can pick that up with the light. I sprayed it with my shimmer spray. No, it's not picking up for some reason. Yeah, I used my shimmer spray on here, give it a little dusting. I used the sprig punch to add a bit of texture behind my sentiment. And there's that beautiful, beautiful stamp, which is in my Stamparatus at the moment because I want to make sure. Silly, I made a silly mistake by stamping it in Night Navy, and when I come to colour, it bled. So that's why they tell you to use a permanent black ink or the Memento ink. So it's a no-no. It did smudge here quite a bit, and there. So hence the vellum. I've added a few gems. The other card from the catalogue uses this, but the thick one like this in the Night of Navy. But I'm using Lovely Lipstick on this one. I think it'll emphasise that beautiful flower because I coloured the flower in Lovely Lipstick as well with the blends. So I'll be using a little scrap of Lovely Lipstick as well to get the sprig punch behind. They haven't used the sprig. They haven't used this tag. They haven't. They've used ribbon and no rhinestone. So I just switched it up a little bit to put my own stamp on it. So let's get some pieces in. You're going to need, I use my thick white card bases. As you know, I don't use Stampin' Up's Whisper White. It's, even their thick Whisper White I don't think is thick enough for me. I like a really bit of substantial cardstock. So I use my 300 GSM white. So that's your A4 cut in half at 5 7/8 by 8 1/4, and we're going to just score and fold at 4 1/8. The designer series paper then is cut at 3 7/8 by 5 5/8. You can never get it all bang on, but we can trim off the excess. And I just wanted a white border, a little one either side. So by the time we glue that on, I don't mind taking a little slither off. You're going to need a piece of Whisper White, and we're going to cut this down to 3 1/4 by 5, and these little strips then go in my tub. I never waste none of that. Perfect for little sentiments. So that, let me just check to make sure it's the right size. Yes, it is 3 1/4 by 5. That is we're gonna stamp our image on there, and that's gonna layer on so we can see plenty of that designer series paper. I've also got a piece of vellum. This is cut at 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. It's just shy of itself, just to give a bit of showing a bit of white. I got the thick white then, which I'm going to run through here. So this is just a basic bit of scrap out of my bin. It's 2 1/2, and it needs to be about 4 3/4 long. It's a little bit longer, this one is, but I don't mind that little bit of waste. So I'm going to run that through the big shot while we're here. It'll take 2 seconds, and it cuts out beautifully. Oh, do you know what? I'm thinking of getting myself an electronic die cutting machine because this is killing my arms and shoulders. It's awful. So you do get a little bit of waste. Nice shape though, that, isn't it? You could frame that and do some, you could actually use that and mask it and dust that area with, oh, your blends, your daubers, and then sponge that area and take it away and it'd have that lovely bubbled effect on there. That looked really nice. And I've also got a strip for the inside, and this is 1 inch, and then I'll just trim off the excess from the 6. So, oh look, my bits are starting to come out already. So let's just pop this over here. And this just all came out so quickly. We got then some dots. There we go, look at that, come out so quick. Look at those little shapes, they could make little wall tiles. You could use them as, added them onto your project and use them as some dimension in the bottom corner of a card somewhere. That'd be cute as well. Painstaking, but cute. So you could use them like a brick effect. But not on this occasion. They're going in my little tub. And I'm just going to continue to poke out. I could use my die brush, but I think this is quicker. And yeah, I forgot my die release paper again. I know. And my dryer sheets. In fact, I found my dryer sheets, but I've got to use some to get some. I thought I'd run out, but I found a box. So once I do my laundry next, get Mr. Boyce to use some dryer sheets. He's a star. So just poke these through. It's the thick, this is the thick cardstock, this is. Nearly done, look. Whoops, I can just scoop my bin up. And then there you go. Perfect. So there's that wonderful shape, and that is going to layer over our image perfectly. Just got a few little bits left in here. There we go. I can go back in with my climbing rose. I'm just going to give, I'm using my spray again, and I'm just keep until it all dissipates from the bottom. Perfect. And then what I did, I just sprayed it over my bin, so I'll be there 2 seconds. That little waft. With my solution, I add a little tiny bit of hairspray, so it does dry a lot quicker. And you can see the shimmer on that. I don't know, yeah, there you go, the camera's picking it up there. I don't know why it wasn't picking it up on that one. So this is going to be for the inside of our card. I'm just going to attach my, I don't know whether to have the spots or the stripes. I think I'm going to have the stripes. We can switch things up a little bit, can't we? It's entirely up to yourselves. Whatever way you think it would look perfect, then you just go with that. You can use any designer series paper here, I would say. Anything you fancy for the background. You don't have to run out and get what I've got. Just use what you've got yourself. I'm sure you all got some stunning papers. So making sure your card opens the right way. And I've got a little border either side. Pushing it down to the very bottom. And I'm just going to smooth that out with my bone folder. Even though I've cut it to just a tiny little fraction, so I've got my long scissors. Just have fun with your things. Don't feel committed to run out and get everything. I'm I'm sure you've all got a floral stamp set somewhere that this would look nice. You know, we've got a lot of stamp sets. So I've just literally taken, I can still, oh look, what's wrong with that now? Give that a good smooth out. Just give that a second to dry. And then I can see, oh, have I got my scissors the wrong way round? That's better. It's just a tiny little bit. It's always handy to keep a good long pair of scissors as well for stuff like that. And then I'm just going to smooth that out once more. Perfect. So that's attached. Looks a bit wonky to me. So I'm going to do the, also I'm going to do the spots on the inside because I like to be a little bit opposite. And I'm not going all the way up to the edge because I know I'll be cutting some off. Because I just cut this to 1 inch. And I'm just putting it up to the score line. And then popping that down. See, I didn't cut glue all the way to the edge, so that is giving me my perfect cut off without having sticking down. So I'm just going to adhere that down. Perfect. Perfect. So while I've got my bone folder, actually, I'm just going to give this another score. Love it. I don't know why I feel these cards are a little bit bitty. So I'm going to set that to one side with that beautiful shimmer and my vellum. And I'm going to test out, I've used that tape, and you can barely see anything, but you know, unless you scrutinise that, you can't see the tape underneath. Lovely. So thank you for the tip, Gloria, and thank you for telling me the name of that wonderful tape runner, which is here. It's called Plus Glue Tape for Vellum, refillable. Perfect. And you can get them on Amazon. Please don't ask me for the links, because if you're in America, then they're going to come from a different place, because they sell them all over the place apparently. I was told it was going to be 4 weeks before I got them, and it was actually a week and a half. So just had a swig of my cup of coffee that Mr. Boyce fetched up. He's a darling. So I'm going to fetch the stamp apparatus in. It is already lined up. But I'm going to reposition. No, I'm not. That's perfect. I'm going to leave that. Yeah, I'm going to reposition. So be careful when taking. That's better. I had my full piece and then decided to trim it down, so that is why. And my washi tape. This is double-sided tape and it fit it perfect. And I've left the backings on, so it gives me a bit of extra strength. Perfect. And yes, I'm leaving my foam in because I'm not pressing too hard there. So I've got my ink pad, my climbing rose, and now I'm going to use permanent black ink. Don't use the colours. Even if it dries, because it's alcohol, it will wetten your ink, and if you like, just smearing it everywhere. So this is the best reason. So I'm going to just flick that over, and I'm only pressing lightly, and nothing strenuous. And I think that's perfect. I may just do a little bit by that flower there, again, and by them stems, but everything else looks great. And that's the only reason I'm using the positioner, so I can get my image nice and crisp. Oh, I can see a little tiny hair there. Where's my tweezers? There we go. Whoosh. That had ink on. I'd have gone like that then and it would have smudged again. I know we're not going to see it in behind the vellum, but I would have known it was there. So I'm just going to clean off my stamp because it is permanent black ink and I certainly don't want it to stain. I'm a squeaky clean kind of girl. There we go. Looks good to me. Oh, and another thing, I sprayed it earlier with my Stampin' Mist because my cloth wasn't very wet. So I've taken it out to the bathroom now and I've left it in soak to get the stains off. And this clean, and then just pat. Perfect, absolutely perfect. Or you can take another one and just dab, 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 dab. And it's lovely, it's clean as a whistle now. Back to its old self. And when you're putting these in your stamps, please, whatever you do, just lay them in gently. Don't press them down because I've done that with this one. And I've peeled it back and now it could potentially rip off your sponge at the back because that's how sticky they are. So just gently lay them in there. So I'm going to pop that out, pop this away because I don't need it again. Perfect. That is absolutely beautiful. While I give that a few seconds to dry, I am coming in with the sentiment, and I'm using the lovely lipstick for this, and it's that thank you for all that you do. And this is just a piece of scrap out of my scraps bin, and I'm just leaving about a few mils of a space there. It's a bit wonky, but with the joy of using one of these punches, I can make it look as straight as possible just by popping it in and lining it up. Whoops. So again, I'm gently touching this because it does take a few seconds for it to dry, and that's our Pretty Labels punch. I know I'm frugal, look, and I'm just going to cut that right off there and put that back in my scraps because I never threw anything that's usable away. La 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 la. And I'm going to grab the inside of my card because on the inside of this one, oh, I see what I've done now. I've opened the card thinking I was going to send it that way, and it's not, it's going that way. So I'm going to have to turn my card and stamp this way. I'm just going to have one either side. Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. So I can pop that away now. Oh, this is so stiff, and you've got to make sure you click them into place. Whoops. Knocking my little stamps over. Making sure they're lovely and clean. You know me, I don't like it. So peel from the side and gently peel back because they're, like I'm saying, they're uber sticky. And then just pop it inside. Don't press it down. Just touch it into place, basically. So now we can come in with our gorgeous blends. Oh, I love them. I love the blends. And we're going to start to colour. We're going to have a little splash of yellow which I'm using Pineapple Punch. This is just for these tiny little petals here. And the scent of this flower. And then I'm going to come in with these little petals. These are just beautiful. You could use any colour medium on this. You could use the blends, the watercolour pencils. I think every little bit of this card could be used with your aqua painters. It would just look amazing in no matter what medium you use to colour this. It would look absolutely stunning. So I used a touch of Balmy Blue as well, which I adore. I am loving these new colours, and they are just going on these beautiful flowers here. And it's no rocket science into colouring. You get a nicer, cleaner, crisp look using the permanent blacks and the Memento. Just beautiful. Just a little splash of colour. I'm going to come in with some shading. I'm just going to add just some lightly darker lines. That is just beautiful and subtle and absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Just some jet. I think these two colours have worked perfect. You've got the light, the dark, and it's not overly dark like some of the pens are. Just gorgeous. So I'm going to use my old... I'm going to use my Granny Apple Green actually for my leaves. I used Old Olive on the last card, but I'm going to use this. And you've got all this beautiful greenery here. And I'm just drawing lines basically. Have fun with these. They're just absolutely beautiful. If you don't have blends, yeah, and you've got Copic markers, use those. Or if you've got Spectrum Noirs, use those, or the Chameleon pens. It's entirely up to you. This is just a guide. I'm not out for sales, so I'm not saying run out and buy all these products I've got. Look for a floral stamp. Look for some beautiful designer series paper. Everyone's got a splash of vellum somewhere, I'm sure. If not, you can get it really cheap online. And the reason I've got two lots of vellum. I've got Stampin' Up's vellum, and I've got some vellum I bought off eBay. There is a difference in the thickness, but it's not overly major. And tonight I'm using my cheap stuff. So there's the light. I'm going to keep the pen down in case I need to blend a little bit. But now I'm just going to add some shadow in. And I'm going to follow the lines just to give it some richness. And if they have no lines, then just add shadow where you think it should be. Just beautiful, love it. And I'm just following lines again. Nothing major. Perfect. I've got a little bit over there, but that's what this white pen is for. Love this. Absolutely love it. And you're not going to see it once the vellum's over there, but I'm just showing it that it can be moved and erased. And I'm just going to give a tiny little bit of a blend now to this one again. I'm not going all the way over it. I'm going to leave it so it looks like there's lighter and darker areas. And that's done. Love that. Absolutely love it. So, in back to my box. And now I'm going to colour this beautiful flower. The same colour as I did that one. These are very rich and vibrant colours. They're lovely lipstick. But it's so worth it. Am I on the pale? Yes, I'm on the light. Oof, looks really dark, see? You don't have to be careful on this apart from around the edges. You can just scribble over, but because I've got yellow on there already, I don't want to disturb that. I'm basically just going around the outside. Drawing lines. I've got something on the end of my nib. I'm just going to try and get that off. Nearly done. Oh, I love this. Beautiful colour. And every time I've picked up the Poppy Parade, I've called it Lovely Lipstick, and it's not. This is Lovely Lipstick. The other one is Poppy Parade. So I'm going to keep this one out again for the same reason. And I'm just going to go around the outside of each of the petals, just for highlight. And it's done half, make it stand out. It's beautiful. And again, I'm going to go back to blending, but I'm not going all the way into the centre. So I'm just going to blend that in. And I'm leaving paler parts. That is beautiful. So you've got three lots of different types of shading on there. And I'll fetch that up now and show you. Isn't that beautiful? That absolutely beautiful stamp. Very, very pretty. Love it. So my pens can go away. Fetch our card in. This is, you could have this any way round. I think that looks upside down, so I'm definitely going to stick to this way round. And I want it about the same distance all the way round this card. So I'm just using normal tape runner for this. Their messages, their sentiment was one of the other ones as well, so that's how we're different. So I just try, you'll see it once you get your books. That is my version of that card. I'm going to try and keep that as level as possible. Perfect. And I'm going to just give it a rub from the back so I don't smush in anything about. There's that. This is the cheap vellum, and it looks can just tell it's not as thick, but it's just as good. And I'm going to add that on there with just that little border either side, those ends, because we've cut it to the same size. Look how it tones down that flower now. Isn't that beautiful? And this is that tape. And I'm just going to add a little bit. Nothing too much. Give myself a border there. And I'm just going to give it another rub from the back. So pretty. And you can't see it. It's marvellous. Now it's got a safety catch. I'm going to pop that away. I don't want that damaging. Whoops. Toppling things over. Right, now for our trellis. You can still see the shine now. Oh, I can. There it is. And that is going to get glued on there. So I'm going to fetch my glue in. And I'm just going to dot in certain areas. I'm not bothered that some of the corners look like they're coming up, because it just adds to that. Just adding dots, nothing major. I'm not going to try and get every little bit. You could use adhesive back sheets on here if you wanted to. I'm not fussed. Just gently touching that. And that's why I only added dots, because it doesn't need nothing else. Perfect. I think that's about right. Oh, now I don't need the glue again, but I'm going to fetch this in, and I'm just going to cut 2 of those lovely little leaves out. Perfect. Love it. And this piece you could get away with say 3.5 inches by 2. There's my beautiful sentiment, all in that lovely lipstick too. So dimensionals now. I'm adding one top. Oh look, it's left the backing on that one. And bottom first. And then I'm going to add my sprigs. And I want one more or less coming out that way. And the same up the top. Perfect. And then I'm just going to add another one either side for stability as well. I think that is so cute. I pushed the other ones on this too far in, so I love that now. That is perfect. And you could have it in the centre, you could have it in the top corner, you could have it down here, just anywhere. I'm going to place mine a little bit more central and down a little bit this time, making sure my sentiment is straight. I don't care that they're loose and hanging about. Oh, love it. In fact, I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm just going to add my rhinestones. Something just went click. I don't know what it was. And then randomly add some in groups of 3s and singles. I reckon a few nice little pearls as well would look gorgeous on here. Just love it. And I'm just going to dot a few round. Just until I feel like that is enough. I love this. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. There you have it. OMG, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Right in there. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And then we've got that beautiful floral inside. Perfect place to add your sentiment. I hope you enjoyed this card. I've enjoyed making it. It's absolutely striking. So there's the blue and there's the lovely lipstick. I love both. They look totally different because we've swapped from spots to stripes and blue to red and sentiment in the corner to the middle. I just love it. Really do. Absolutely fabulous. You could spend some time. Oh, I would colour them with felts though. I wouldn't use the blends. And this one. Oh bless. I got flowers on the side. Nevertheless, it's a handmade card. There we go. I hope you enjoyed. I really enjoyed this one very much. So it's great to produce cards with stamp sets you really love, and from now on that's all I'm ever going to do is buy stamps I love, not because I'm promoting anything, not because I'm after sales or anything, because I'm not, because I just do it for my therapy. This is my therapy. This is my way of staying sane and giving back a little to those who have supported me through all this time. So thank you so much. I love you all. I would really appreciate a thumbs up and a share. And if you haven't subscribed, please do, because I've got another 24 stamp sets that I bought recently. And I'm going to be making so many different cards with them. Not just one and then go back to the beginning, to the end. I'm going to do several. So you're going to probably see the stamp set I used a few times before we could be 2 on the trot. It could be I go up the alphabet and then come back down and see because something else has taken my fancy. So right, I'm going to love and leave you all. Take care. Don't forget the bell straight after the subscribe button. That way you'll be notified of all future videos. So till next time, bye.